Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Sita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. Tell me,
Yeah.
how can I help
Thank
you?
you. Thank you for giving your time. My name is Sita, and we used to live in Hyderabad. We moved to Dubai this year, which is
Okay.
last academic year. I have two boys, grade 8 and grade 6. Currently in grade
Mm-hmm.
8 and grade 6, and they will be moving to grade 9 and grade 7, respectively.
Okay.
So two boys, and we used to study in Indus International School,
In
um,
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Yeah. Before that, we were in a IGCSE school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, from IGCSE school, I moved my children to IB school. I mean, my
Okay.
older one, my younger one, I let him finish till grade 5, and from grade 6,
Okay.
I wanted him to move. But my
Okay.
older one, I moved him after grade 6 because the pandemic hit, and then I moved him to grade 7. So I
Mm-hmm.
am utterly confused right now. Overwhelmingly confused because I moved countries. I came to this country, and then this country has too many choices of curriculums, and too many holidays. And I am a graduate from IIT Madras. So I'll tell you history of my confusion. I mean, even in India, when I was going through IGCSE school, I felt that it is a rote learning. There is no scope for the kids to. It was very box type, right? So there is no room for the kids to expand whatever they want to learn. And I am from so rigid academic background. I never had an opportunity to have a holistic kind of education. So I was always looking forward for my kids to look for the other things too, but there is a deep academic clinging that I cannot wipe out. So I'm kind of juggling between what my priorities are. I came here, there were very little IB schools. This country is overwhelmingly British. So, and there are American schools, and there are the what do you call those schools? There are multiple countries, Indian schools. There are a lot of schools. So what the school we picked is an IB school, very strong IB school, which is an old IB school. But after coming into this school, we realized that all the upper management, changed, and all the senior teachers left, and the school was a chaotic place when we came. But then I think towards the end of the year, they were falling in place. But we see a lot of juggling, lot of kids leaving the school, and it's a very unstable place. This country itself feels unsettled because there are a lot of migrating people in this country. So I started looking for the other schools, but then I was not sure which school to pick, and I was confused if this is the right school or not. Am I leaving a good school and going, to another place? But definitely, this school where we are right now, we definitely see not a very strong academic place. This is a place
Mm-hmm.
where kids with other skills are more like who are into sports or who are into music, and not a very academically oriented place. But the other school
Mm-hmm.
that I picked is way too academic, way too result driven.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I move, my kids are settled here. If I move, will it be overwhelmingly challenging that I will regret my decision, or you know so here I have to drop a science, and I don't have to drop a science in that school. I have to do all the three sciences. My younger one is very very competitive, so here it is integrated sciences till grade 8. So there is no separate sciences, so there is no emphasis on separate sciences, and it's integrated humanities, so which is not geography, history, or kind of a thing. So I get these documents from, I collected the documents from both the schools. I have so much information with me, I can't process that information. Because there's an emotionally, because this is such a big decision. I mean, it's not a college or something, but still I feel this is such a big thing. And I'm it's causing me a lot of pressure and everything.
Before we move forward, I just need to let you know that we record all our meetings and we
Okay.
use them for more people to learn, because everybody can't really reach out to us. I mean, I can't spend time with as many people. So
Okay.
we record all the meetings, we put them on the public domain so that others can learn from these meetings. That's
Okay.
one. The second is that you should share as much as you can, because the more you share, the more I know, the more I can guide you.
Okay.
Now, as of now, what I've understood is that it was easier to crack IIT Madras. It is easier to run an IT company in Dubai, but it is a challenge to decide what curriculum for the kids. And that's a very involved mother speaking her heart out. So I appreciate that. I respect that situation. Now, the only question I've understood till now is that what curriculum to pick. Are there more questions there, or is there more background there?
So, I mean, I have experienced IGCSE curriculum, and
Hmm.
I have seen how they handled it in India. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't comment in a generic way, but then I felt IGCSE is very rote learning. It's like content thing. But what I have seen in IB is that is not there. So the base of teaching is not there, and they're expecting the kids to self learn. So they give a research question and they expect kids to self learn. It is adding more pressure on me because they are trying to approach some research without having a basic understanding of what is the concept. So what is happening with me is I am trying to bridge the gap and I am trying to explain them, and they're giving me a resistance saying, this is not necessary. This is not what my school wants us to do. My school just wants us to do certain things which we are doing. And when I try to go in the middle and when I try to tell them that, you are not having the entire width of what you are supposed to learn, or the concept that you are supposed to learn, and I'm getting absolute resistance. So in one side I see that they're only mugging, or I felt it as mugging because that's what I have been through, and I felt that they're not going in depth. Whereas this side, it's way too relaxed. It's like take it at your own pace. So right now, with the background of my kids, they are taking it a little bit. But if I continue the same pattern, I have a fear, or that they might slip out with the concepts. Especially, both my kids are very independent. They don't want me to be hands on or to be helping them. They want to take it at their own pace, and they are doing good. I don't have any complaints or any regrets about my children as such. I just want to guide them. So I am taking it more pressure on me, because I am the one who chose this for them, and I am extremely happy with the way they're doing their research because they are doing their best. They're doing their best to understand, but I see that their concepts are not in depth. So I
Mm-hmm.
see that they need help. So now the curriculum, this is my understanding because I have seen what IGCSE till grade 5, and in the checkpoint exam, my son got out, like 6 on 6 and 5 on 7, and it is all him. I have not done anything, no tutoring or anything. It is all self taught. But now with IB, I am not having that confidence that it is that they will know the concepts very well. And my husband says it's okay because ultimately they are going into the business. They don't want to have sciences, or you are again going back into your old roots, which might not be necessary. So yeah, this is the conflict that we have. And for him anything is okay as long as I don't confuse the kids. You just stick with one thing. And now, um, yeah, I've got the grade 10 syllabus, and I felt it is very, very shallow. And I've got the grade 10 syllabus of the other school, and I felt it is overwhelming. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. So I just want you to understand what is, because end of the day you can't get everything, right? So you should
Yeah.
pick what
Yeah.
is the priority and we should have a target and the goal and
Yeah,
proceed towards it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my intention. Now the pressure, too much pressure is to, like, we took the test of the other school just to give it a shot, see if we can do it or not, and we cleared the test and we got the admission. So I took my time and that expired. Now they have to take again a test and see if they still have the admission or no. And this school that we are currently also, we have to pay the fees and we have to freeze for the next academic year. I just want to give them whatever the best they can get into, and I want to have one more skill for them, not just academics, sports and music, and emphasize on these things too. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing. So curriculum wise, I think we have boiled down to IB curriculum, because it might be confusing for the kids also, because now they have introduced to IB, and now I don't know IGCSC. I don't know if they can adapt, or to be honest, I don't know anything about IGCSE. I
Mhm.
know IGCSE only till grade 5, and I have ordered the books for grade 9 and 10, the textbooks and workbooks, because for the concept I thought I can make them go through those textbooks. So I ordered the
Sure,
copies of those textbooks. That's all
sure.
so that is my map of what is the content a grade 9 student or a grade student 10 student should know by end of grade 10, to know that
Mhm.
I have ordered the books.
I think I've understood the situation.
Mhm.
Let me start off by saying that your thoughts are not wrong. What you're thinking is not wrong. Your dilemma or the questions that you're coming up with absolutely valid.
Okay.
At the same time, what your husband is saying is also not wrong,
Okay.
right? So academic strength is powerful,
Mhm.
right? If we can develop enough depth in our academic journey, if we are studying organic chemistry and we study it well and understand the depth and breadth of the subject, it is definitely useful.
Mhm.
Having said that, all, I mean, you must have had people in your batch in IIT Madras who did not do as well as some other people,
Mhm.
right? So in any batch, wherever you come from, some people do really well, some people don't do so well.
Yeah.
And a college is a great door opener,
Mhm.
right? A lot of doors open because you're from IIT Madras, if you need jobs or if you need funding or if you need to engage with somebody. But once you get that job or you get that funding and you're running your own company,
You're all the
your
same.
confidence level plays a huge role,
Yes.
right? So it's important that we keep the two in our perspective, in our scope as we plan the journey for them.
Okay.
Um, now, eh, so that's one part of it, right?
Mhm.
That what you are thinking about academic strength is absolutely right. Academic strength is very useful. Doing well in your school is very useful. Gaining that knowledge is very useful. But it is, the whole value of it diminishes if you don't alongside gain self confidence,
Correct.
right? So you might be able to go to a great college, you might get a 42 on 42 in your IB or 45 and 45, but if along with that you haven't developed the level of self confidence, then so back to the power of academics
Mm-hmm.
versus self
Confident.
confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's spend time on that.
Okay.
So a academics is very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
There is no doubt about it.
Okay.
But self confidence is as powerful, if not more.
Okay.
So, for a child who can do both, like you did, academics is your identity, it is great to do both.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge, and we will come to that, the challenge is when it becomes a trade off.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a trade off when the child doesn't have the academic appetite, right? When the child doesn't have the academic drive, when academics doesn't excite him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Why does academics not excite some people? It could be A, because the environment is such,
Mhm.
right? The people around him are such,
Mhm.
where his peers, his friends, his classmates, his parents, his neighbors, people are largely not looking up to academics.
Mhm.
Okay, what is a child? A child is basically or all of us are a sum total of the five people we spend our time with.
Correct. I also believe
Right.
in that. Mhm.
So now the five people, or in his case, the 15 people, his parents, I don't know what your neighborhood structure is, his classmates,
All
their
alone
parents.
in this neighborhood.
Sorry?
So we took a villa in this Dubai, and I'm in the beautiful villa all by myself. We don't have any social connection here. I'm
Okay,
working in
okay,
my room. Yeah, so that's all we have
okay,
here.
okay.
So
Hopefully, you're happy with that.
Mhm.
You need some social interaction, but
I
that's
know.
fine. That's your call.
Yeah.
Um, so the point is that
Mhm.
uh, whatever is the ecosystem around both your boys is what is motivating them.
Mhm.
Now, if that ecosystem is academic in their outlook, right? If everybody is saying, I want to go to IIT, I want to go to MIT, I want to go to Harvard, I want to go to Berkeley, I want marks, oh my God, I lost 2 marks, then that
Mhm.
becomes your mindset,
Correct.
right? If the majority in that ecosystem are like, chill, dude, what are you doing? Why do you need to focus? Let's play this game. You don't have a PS4. Let's go and, watch a movie. So then that becomes their mindset,
Mhm.
right? Because they're at a very influenceable age,
Mhm.
right? At this age, you can almost mold them in any direction.
Mhm.
They're at that age. But the reality is, you can't do it directly.
Mhm.
A parent can, in most cases, not go to the child and say, please become academic. There is
Yeah.
no silver bullet, there is no switch on and switch off,
Mhm.
right? So, in fact, the more the parent says that, the more the child says, I will not do it.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to cut you. I have two kids in my house. There is
Yeah.
one child who is, in grade 8 now, who is completely, not as motivated. I mean, he will take it up to the point where he likes it, and if he likes it, he will raise the bar. But if he doesn't like it, he's okay with, failing also. That is one.
Oh, okay.
And I have the second one who gets up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Whatever test he has, he puts an alarm. He gets up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and he will ponder over his PPTs, not knowing what to do. He will do something about it, and he will sleep again at 5:36. So he will get up at 4 a.m. No matter what, he has a test, he will get up at 4 a.m. And even
Got
today
it.
morning he has a math summative, and he made me get up. He's like, you get up at 3:30, turn on the heater, and then wake me up at 4 o'clock. I just want to score 8 on it. It is maths exam. I want to score 8 on it because I am good at this. I want to do. You make me prepare. You make me prepare. So this is the grade student that I have.
See,
Um,
unfortunately, you have a challenge because the two kids are very different,
yeah.
and you will have to. There is no single approach that will work for both,
Mhm.
right? So with the second one, with the younger one, he's like you, right? He wants to get into IIT, he wants to get into Harvard, he wants to get into Georgia Tech, or maybe that's too far, but he wants his marks.
Mhm.
He wants
Yeah.
that 8 on 8, right?
Yes.
So with him, you will need to be that person for whom academics is really important.
Mhm.
So engage with him, get him more excited about marks.
But he is
Uh,
not letting me give anything extra on top of what school is doing. He is an IGCSE child. So this is his first year of IB. This grade 6 is his first year of IB.
you grew up doing CBSE or ICSE?
I grew up doing CBSE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, CBSE has a lot of rote learning,
Yes.
but you did well.
Yeah.
You went to IIT Madras, you are running a company, you're doing well, right?
Yeah, I am doing well.
Despite CBSE. So,
But I always
I mean,
think that I need to have some out of the box skill which I didn't have. I felt that when I entered into the college, I felt that some out of the box thinking maybe. Uh, so that's one thing which I thought I didn't have, and social skills.
so
I
so we'll come to the curriculum very quickly, but
Okay,
let's close the academics versus self-confidence.
okay.
So, academics is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the easiest way to make a great career,
Mm-hmm.
right? Get good marks, go to IIT, go to Stanford, go to a good college, good doors will open for you. And then it's up to how well can you work. But
Okay,
it's the easiest path to have good doors open for you,
correct.
right? You might be extremely knowledgeable, you might be Einstein, but in
Uh-huh.
today's environment, if you don't get 8 on 8,
Okay,
the world doesn't know that you're an Einstein,
correct.
right? Unfortunately, when you're applying to a college, they will want to look at marks. Is the first thing colleges will look at anywhere you apply.
Correct. That's what I tell my kids too, because that's the
Whether
only
you apply in
way.
India or apply in US or apply in UK or apply in Singapore or apply in Germany, wherever you want to apply, the first thing colleges will look for is marks.
Mhm.
So academics is very, very important. It is very useful to get into a great college.
Mhm.
Right now, it becomes a challenge where it is not your younger one but the older one.
Mhm.
Right. So and I don't know him that well, so I should not really judge him. But for a kid who is not able to score well, either because he's not interested or because he hasn't developed that DNA because of his ecosystem, or maybe he doesn't have somebody at home to guide him, or he's got a learning issue. There are kids who have a learning issue.
Mhm.
Right? It could be a variety of reasons.
No,
But for any reason, if a
Mhm.
kid does not score well,
Mhm.
and we keep hammering him to say, no, you need to get 8 on 8. No, you need to be motivated about academics. No, you need to be excited about academics. He will start losing his self confidence.
Mhm.
And hence, that becomes a delicate case where we need to balance it.
Mhm.
We still want him to reach a very important word here is optimal.
Correct.
We want him to reach his optimal score.
Correct.
So, if the best score he can achieve is 5, then we are happy with 5.
Mhm.
So, that is where you need to make a differentiation between the output and the effort.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what I tell parents is almost don't worry about the output
Mhm.
for both the kids. It
Okay.
doesn't matter whether they're getting 8 or 5 or 6 or 3,
Okay.
as long as they're putting in sincere effort.
Okay.
See, the DNA, the culture, the mindset, the habit that we should develop is that I will give my best to whatever I do. Right?
Mhm.
If you are today running a company in Dubai, you are giving it your best.
Mhm.
If you wanted to go to IIT, then you gave your best to your JE prep.
Mhm.
If you wanted to do well in school, you gave your best to your school academics. You woke up at 4 and you saw your marks.
Mhm.
If you are cooking something for your kids, you give it your best. So whatever we do, at least the high priority areas.
Mhm.
Today, clearly, you've reached out to me through Instagram, and whatever you've crossed multiple mountains to finally reach me, is because you are giving your best to being a parent.
Mhm.
Right? The reality is your sixth and eighth graders or fifth and eighth graders are very young.
Mhm.
You know, so a lot of times we don't even engage with people below ninth grade.
Okay.
But I saw your energy. I saw, somebody sent me a screenshot of the messages on Instagram that you sent,
Mhm.
and so I realized that there is either a problem
Mhm.
or there is a lot of passion here.
Mhm.
So it's worth engaging. I mean, clearly, there is some value I can add. So, I mean, we speak to a lot of parents who are not interested. So then I'm wasting my time, right?
Okay.
So clearly, you're very, very engaged. Even as a parent, you're giving it your best.
Mhm.
That's what we want from the kids,
Okay.
right? Finally, if they go to IIT or not, if they go to Ivy Leagues or not, doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I've seen kids do better after they went to a Purdue
Mm-hmm.
than a kid who went to Columbia,
Okay.
right? Because it doesn't, there is no, I always say, there is no college, there is no country, there is no course that guarantees success.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that guarantees success is you. So
Yeah.
invest in yourself, create that culture of whatever you do, you'll give it your best, at least the high priority items,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then that becomes your second nature. Whether you're at work or you're in a college or you're in a school or you're with friends or you are cooking or you are making a painting or you're playing the keyboard lying behind you, whatever you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
if for 1 hour you are with the keyboard, you are with the keyboard. Your mind is not distracted. So you develop that habit of being disciplined, being focused, being driven.
Mm-hmm.
So then you take away the pressure of marks,
Okay.
right? You say, what marks you get, I don't care.
Okay.
I just want you to be driven.
Okay.
I want you to be sincere to the cause, whatever cause you have. And it's a good idea to give them your example and your husband's example. Now, I mean, I don't know you, but you've clearly worked hard in school and college. You've gone to IIT, so maybe you come from a very well-off family. Maybe you come from a middle-class family. Whatever it is, doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? So your point is that, look, I have put in a lot of effort, and my husband's put in a lot of effort for us to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have a nice, posh villa in Dubai, and we are leading a good life. That's because of the hard work that we put in, right? So today we might have decent amount of money, but it's not to throw, right? So whatever money we are spending, we want value for it.
Mm-hmm.
We will never question you about the book that you want to buy, but then you got to read that book,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's about value for things, value for the opportunities we have. The power of academics versus self-confidence,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I repeat, academics is extremely useful, extremely powerful, extremely worthwhile to go after, and it is not a trade-off with self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, they can enable their self-confidence through their academics also.
Mm-hmm.
Will they? I don't know yet. But
Okay.
if they do well in academics, it will definitely help them
Okay.
develop self-confidence.
Okay.
Okay? So we will come back to that. But at this point in time, I would say do not give up
Okay.
on trying to enhance their confidence level, on trying to enhance their academic level.
Okay.
You are trying to engage with them and and create a goal of, okay, you need to get a 7, or you need to put in so many hours for studying, or we need to go into the depth of the subject. Then
Okay.
don't give up very easily,
Okay.
as long as it is not creating a very negative environment at home.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll come to that.
Okay.
But largely academics are definitely worthwhile to go after,
Okay.
unless we hit a wall and we realize that this kid's self-confidence is taking a hit because he's trying, but he just can't crack it,
Correct.
right? So he doesn't have the capability to crack it. He just can't get a 7.
Correct.
His numerical ability is not there, or his academic capability is not there. So then we need to taper down our own expectations.
Okay.
That doesn't seem to be the case.
Okay.
So if you are nudging them, pushing them, guiding them, and taking them from a 5 to a 6 to a 7, in the long run, they will
Mm-hmm.
come back and thank you for it. The second part that I'll quickly touch upon is the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
You've done CBSE. There are schools in Dubai that also offer ICSC. You are then looking at the Cambridge program, which is IGCSC, which in 11th and 12th becomes A levels, AS levels, and A levels. And the fourth curriculum that you are engaging with is IB,
Mm-hmm.
right? So IB, of course, is the Swiss program. Now, all of these curriculums are good. I mean, you've done CBSE and you're doing well. The two guys in the world who are running the two largest technology companies, Microsoft and Google, have studied in India and the Indian curriculums,
Mm-hmm.
and are today hiring people from MIT and Stanford and IIT and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they have also done well.
Mm-hmm.
IB is known as the Rolls Royce of curriculums.
Mhm.
Okay. So IB is a great, great curriculum too.
Okay.
Cambridge, which is IGCSC till 10th, and AS levels and A levels in 11th and 12th, is also a very, very good curriculum.
Mhm.
So the issue is not with the curriculum. The issue a lot of times is the following reasons. One, it's the school, it's the
Mhm.
culture of the school. Some schools are more driven, some schools look up to marks,
Mhm.
some schools don't look up to marks and they just want kids to be more relaxed.
Mhm.
Second is the peer group. The third is the teachers.
Mhm.
A lot of times, the teachers who are teaching IB and Cambridge did not grow up studying IB and Cambridge,
Mhm.
right? They grew up studying some other curriculum.
Correct.
And now they are expected to teach IB and Cambridge, which are reasonably intellectually stimulating curriculums,
Mhm.
right? But the teachers did not grow up like that.
Mhm.
So the classroom does not have the intellectual stimulation that those curriculums can provide.
Mhm.
Okay. And lastly, it again goes back to the peer group. So the other school, which is extremely competitive, which is for gifted kids, will naturally have more pressure and more academic purpose.
Mhm.
So now, can your kids go there and thrive? I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know the kids, but if they can, then they will do very well there. If they can't, then they could struggle there. Okay. The friends issue is again a very subjective issue, right? If he's saying, if I move there, I have to make friends again, and he's making a face at you, if you think he can cope with it, move him, right? If you think he can't cope with it, then don't move him, right? Because i- change makes us more adaptable. Again, he might crib about it today, but once he goes into that school, he will make friends.
Mhm.
You put five 9 year olds or 15 9 year olds, ninth graders into one room, they will figure out. They
Mhm.
will make friends as long as they are just normal and they don't have any learning issues or any behavioral issues. They will make friends,
Mhm.
right? And if they are academically doing well, they will go there and they will become, smart kids, and they will realize that there are smarter kids out there, and their aspiration will grow. Sometimes we are in a more comfortable environment where nobody's driven, and I am getting 5 out of 7, and I'm feeling like I'm a dude.
Mhm.
But I don't realize that outside my pond, there are bigger dudes, right? So it happens to kids when they go into IIT sometimes,
Mhm.
right? I cracked JEE, I did really well, and I've come into an IIT, but then they go there and they realize, oh my God, they're much smarter people.
Mhm.
So that could happen to them, and it could be a good impact or a bad impact. I don't know the answer because, again, I don't know them. But it is worthwhile to think about it. Um, if you think they can cope with it, if you think they can do well with it,
Mhm.
if you think they will, because of that, going back to self confidence, they will not do well and they will start losing their self confidence, then you can keep this in keep them in this environment, and at home you can create that environment which makes them academically driven. But the academic drive should not go away. The academic push, the academic stimulation should not go away.
Okay.
But the curriculums is not a problem.
Mhm.
At times, the school is a problem, the teachers are a problem, the peer group is a problem. Sometimes even the parents and the family and the home environment is a problem. In this case, clearly the home environment is not the problem. So the problem lies somewhere else, or maybe there is no problem,
Mhm.
right? But that's about the curriculum. So don't worry that the curriculum is bad. There
Okay.
are people who've done Cambridge and gone to Oxford or gone to Harvard
Okay.
who have done A levels and IGCSC. So in
Okay.
Cambridge, till 10th is called IGCSC,
Uh-huh.
and
Then
11th and 11th is called AS level, and 12th is called A levels.
okay.
And Cambridge, of course, comes from UK. And I've seen enough kids who've done Cambridge and gone to top colleges and done really well and have come out and done great jobs, done great research. Um, and I've seen the same with IB.
Okay.
And I've seen exactly the same with CBSE,
Okay.
right? So it's not like one curriculum is worse than the other.
So with my older one, what I see is when I see the size of the books of Cambridge, I just feel that maybe it will be more challenging for him than IB. That's the thing I felt. Maybe Cambridge is tougher than IB because of the width of
No,
the
so IB
content.
becomes really tough in 11th and 12th.
I know that, yeah, 11th and 12th, because the IGCSE kids will come and they do the 11th and 12th of IB. So I heard that IB is
Yes.
extremely tough for the 11th and
Yes.
12th. And that's also one of my reasons, for my concern. So I have seen the grade 10 newsletter. I have seen the grade 10 syllabus of my current school. And I really want to work with you. I want to know what kind of programs or options you have for the parents. I want you to also go through the curriculum and give your insight and also assess the kids' capabilities. And for me, more than the college, I am more focused on what career choice they have. Like, I want them to identify which, like, do you want to go to engineering, what type of engineering, or do you want to go to medicine, I don't know, but business, or do you want to go to the law, or that is more
Sure. Got it.
important
Got it.
for me
Got it.
than what
So,
college you go into, because identifying what you like and connecting your skills to your passion is the main thing which I'm looking at. The college, I think, if you have it, any college, you will make it and you will go there. So
correct.
um,
And will
I
they do their college in the US or in India or in UK or
were US citizens, so they will go to US.
US? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
All my children are there.
again, the curriculum, any curriculum is fine. The curriculum has no restrictions or limitations if they want to do any career in the US.
Okay, okay,
Whether to do Cambridge or they do IB or you were to do CBSC or ICSC, after every curriculum, they can go to the US and pick
okay,
any college, any course, any career.
okay,
They are still very young to decide what careers to pick,
okay,
but we can talk about it. At this
okay.
point in time, like I was saying earlier, the best thing to focus on is create work ethics,
Mm-hmm.
intellectual curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
and a reasonable level of discipline and academic rigor,
Mm-hmm.
right? As long as you have those things in place,
Okay,
they will automatically navigate where they want to go.
okay,
But again, back to curriculum. The curriculum is fine. IGCSE is fine. A levels is fine. IB is fine. I would worry less about what curriculum they are doing and more about what school are they going into? What kind of school are they in?
okay,
Is the school looking up to academics
okay,
or are they ridiculing academics or not or making people just go easy?
okay,
Okay. So that area one has to be careful about.
okay.
The other things that we should talk about is a how to develop more self confidence. There are again strategies to develop more self confidence. The next 4 years, especially for your older one, because they are going to be very tough for you. I can foresee it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're an engaged mother,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you were a disengaged mother who was willing to take a step back and say, okay, chill, do what you want to do, it will go very easy. Because you're an engaged mother, you will face certain challenges.
Okay,
And it's important that we talk about that so that a very important part of the next 4 years is going to be what kind of a relationship do you develop with your kids,
okay.
right? Because you have only 4 more years with the older one,
Correct.
right? And
Yes,
then the bird's going to fly,
correct.
right? And so whatever you want to give him in terms of work culture, in terms of value system, in terms of work ethics, in terms of focus, in terms of his connection with you and his father, you have only 4 years,
Correct.
right? What you want is once he's in college, if and when there is a problem, which will happen, he should be able to pick up the phone and call you,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So hence the other important part is the relationship that you develop with him.